to the Thought Leader Show. I'm your host, Major Sunil Shetty. My Startup TV is doing series on Himalayan Startup Trek with an aim to showcase startups and innovators and enablers. Today we have with us Mr. Anuj Sharma, who's the founder and CEO of ALSiSAR IMPACT. He would be sharing his insights into the kind of work his organization is doing, and also we will be exploring with him the kind of association they have with IIT Mandi Catalyst. Welcome to the show, Mr. Anuj.
Thanks, Major Sunil. It's a privilege to be part of this show.
So, Anuj, let's start by understanding, what is the kind of association you have between your organization and IIT Mandi Catalyst, and very specifically to the event that's going to be, happening soon.
Yeah, so I'll just take one step back in terms of telling who we are, so that it is easier for us to understand why it is so important for us to be part of IIT Mandi and its amazing work that they are doing. So I actually work with mainstream clients across 15 different countries, and I was doing all the kind of so-called mainstream work. And I had a tipping point where I was disillusioned that what I'm doing is whether it is worthwhile or not, like in terms of as a human, whether I was doing more credible work or not. And I came back to India without having a plan B. And I started South Asia's first fully focused transaction advisory firm in impact investing social enterprise in 2008, when people were just talking about impact investing in social enterprise. And we actually were one of the biggest catalysts in this whole space of mobilizing capital from the global north, if you put like this, the US and the Europe kind of thing, towards South Asia. And we have galvanized close to $1 billion in this space in social enterprises. 1 in 4 transactions have been facilitated by us for many, many years in this space. However, like when you look back, there is also one of the important thing which is important to highlight out is, while global north has benefited from the social enterprise catalyzation or investments in India or nearby geographies, the same thing has not been perceived or kind of benefited by the local people at large, like the investors and also the academic institutions. And that's where there's a paradigm shift which has happened. Like great amount of movement has happened where academic and practitioner are coming together. And that's where I feel like IIT Mandi, when I started talking to them in year 2018, and we saw that the kind of great movement they are putting it across in the whole of Himalayas is kind of a very amazing facet or a case study in itself. Because if you see, Himalayan region is pristine, it's beautiful. We talk about lots of good things, but we don't talk about that the migration is very rampant there. Population is fair, resources are huge, but people are the people who go there from outside to do business are exploited in their own way. So the trust deficit and other things are happening. So how to conserve the whole ecosystem in a bigger way for the next generation, how to empower the local people, and also to make this ecosystem, which is the most fragile ecosystem in the world, but also one of the most important ecosystems in the world in terms of even climate and also ecology, sustain, is also important, by which the only way I feel, because I've been part of the entrepreneurship ecosystem for long. So entrepreneurship is equivalent to nation building. I put it like this. And entrepreneurship is also about hope, lots of positive hope, if you put it like this. And that's where IIT Mandi comes in a very clear manner in terms of going to the next level. That's what we felt like it is important for us to associate with them in a more credible manner. So we are supporting some of the IIT Mandi incubators already. One is there in Uttarakhand, which is into sustainable fashions, and a couple of others which are in some other parts of the Himalayan region as well. You need lots of patience when you work with Himalayan startups. That's one. And second, you need to earn their trust. You can't just throw money and earn their trust. Trust is a slightly different way, where you need to show that you belong there, like you belong into their vision, and you also belong into the larger kind of belief that the growth only comes when everybody wins. And if we have to do that everybody wins approach, that means the entrepreneur needs to be the first. And that's where having an academic institution is such an important thing, because you need not to kind of prove to the entrepreneur that, hey, look, academic institution is coming. That means they have a trust factor already built in. And that's where the differentiator with IIT Mandi was if we see, they have got most of the people are local there. even the IIT Mandi Catalyst people. The staff is local, and they understand the local ecosystem in a very good way. They are very receptive. And when you talk and understand the startups which are coming there and they are being supported there, is also pretty, I will say, magnificent in a way that they are trying to build the ecosystem overall. It's not just one startup supported and then you're forgetting it out. So when you talk about the ecosystem, it takes some time, and you need to start seeing some kind of role models in entrepreneurship as well. Some kind of success factors in the so-called capitalist manner also needs to be required, where we see that some kind of a startup grow to the next level, and also they benefit from the large capitalist ecosystem that we talk about in Bay Area or within Bangalore and Delhi as well. So we need to push this whole capitalist side into the Himalayan region. And that's where the IIT Mandi Catalyst is a very great thing. And for us, we are fully focused in social enterprise ecosystem. So this category where we are supporting the award is also very logical. Environment and ecosystem, which is a pretty important thing for us, sustainability. And we feel like this will be a small token for some of the entrepreneurs which are coming from there as a symbolic thing that people are there to support them for the larger mission.
Anuj, you make a lot of interesting points out there. So let me connect 2 points that you made, which are interesting. One is, when you talk about sustainable development and also the rampant development that's happening across the world, how do you strike a balance? And as you call it, when everybody wins, how do you do that? How do you achieve that?
So one of the things which we forget when we are doing exploitative side, so many of us take the development in a very different way. We say, if I have to go and start a mine, which is the big corporate do it, and generate electricity, that's a very good thing because I can generate lots of money from that. But at the same time, you are destroying the forest, you are destroying the tribals, you are destroying many other people. Just take a slight amount of flip. I say, let's take, there is an enterprise which says, I will use the same forest in a sustainable way where I'm not cutting the trees, but I'm using the leaves, I'm using the things which are livelihood and other livestock and other things which are available in a more sustainable, slow growth manner. But it is going to be there for the next 1,000 years. The mines are going to be finished in next 20, 30, 40 years. Then what you are doing, you are abandoning them and going to the next forest to destroy. And this is just a phenomena which is happening in the last 100 years, which is accelerated. Because we only talk about one way of success is money, currency. But currency is just paper. We are printing it, the governments are printing and they're throwing it. What about the social capital? What about the environmental capital? What about the climate capital? All these things are so vital for us. Otherwise, we can't give any future to the next generation coming in.
How do you tell the millennials when they hear all these unicorn stories, $1 billion stories, great IPO listing, that
Yeah.
dissociate yourself from money, the printed money, the fiat currency, and think of sustainability? How do we do it? Because we know the millennials, the age and time when I was
Yeah.
brought up in, money was not the criteria. It was the values you have built, you grew up in. But today the millennials don't understand it. I mean, on one side we show them all these big stories of great
Yeah.
IPOs, unicorns, and on the other side we're talking them not to trade your environment or with this.
So I'll have a slight amount of different approach. Like millennials are actually much more risk taker in terms of seeing the environment and sustainability side as well. Now today, who's the main role models of them? Role model is not somebody who's a steel tycoon or a oil tycoon. The role icon is Elon Musk kind of world, Steve Jobs of the world. Elon Musk is a icon for renewable energy today. He, like, you can talk about like he's super rich, but I've seen his journey very close, up and running. I remember like 13 years back when I was in the Bay Area, he was he obviously earned his money from the earlier ventures, but this was a pivotal time where he was almost bankrupt. But he rose in and he was fighting against all odds. He was saying, I'm creating a car which is primarily not polluting your atmosphere, and this is very sustainable. And also the car is more durable because the parts which I'm using is a very few. In a diesel or petrol car, there are 10,000 parts you are using. In this, you have just few hundred parts are there. And plus, it is also giving a great amount of leverage to the climate. Now, that kind of role models, when we talk about today, you have ventures which are coming in hemp, where the hemp plant completely is used. You are seeing huge amount of also initiatives coming in terms of different kind of a sustainable organic foods as well. And in after COVID, all these things have got accelerated, where people are talking about their health. They are talking about working from mountain. They are talking about startups which are doing in wellness and other things as well. So these things can only come when you have some kind of a more thought-provoking events which can also come in. So maybe this is a good time that we are talking about, and there is no harm in having a merging or intersection of capitalism and socialism is coming in. And that's where the social enterprise is a very beautiful thing. I'm not saying that you don't make profit. I'm saying I'm also making profit. But at the same time, the profit should not be that much that it kills the thing. Like when we say, oh, like if I have a gold giving hen, if it is there, I should not kill that hen, right? Let the hen be nurtured properly so that the gold keep coming in for me. So that's kind of a slow moving kind of a approach, is a much more sustainable and also far fetching for all of us coming in.
As per your experience, how do you see what kind of age group, or what is the kind of people who are at the forefront of creating awareness and taking action, real action on the ground when it comes to sustainability?
So if we see like my own, like if I take my own parents and also nearby things, like when our India got independence, maybe my grandparents were alive and they were trying to see it. So for them, survival was the most important thing. When my parents' generation came, then housing was the most important thing. One house is the biggest dream that they all have. Today, when you look the millennials, they want to have a purpose, sense of gratitude, and also sense of recognition, if you put it like this. All things combined in. And for them, it is not survival question. They want to do something more different. And that is one of the reasons, if you see in the past 1.5 years, the tenure has come of great resignations. So millennials have put on their papers, they want to be entrepreneurs. And it is not a bad idea for across the world. Governments cannot give jobs. Now, if I'm an entrepreneur, I'm not just sustaining myself, I'm also creating jobs for 10 more people, 20 more people. And that is a great phenomena for across the like world, if you put it like this. So today, people are going to get into job as an employee if they feel that they're connected, if they feel they are recognized, and also they find a purpose along with the money. And this kind of a thing also gives rise to lots of creativity and also some kind of a more sensible approach. Now, if we see in Delhi or even in Bombay, the pollution is so high that people are saying this is not done. Now the governments are answerable. Like in Germany, Green Party got 14% vote just because they were saying we are having an environment agenda. Now, tomorrow, if in India, this kind of thing comes in, a political party says, I'm going to defend you for the political things with respect to climate change and others. I'm going to vote for them. And lots of millennials will also vote because we need clean air. This is a fundamental right. The same way I need clean drinking water. All these are sustainability side coming in.
Now, coming to the event itself, you're also you're sponsoring one of the awards. Tell us about the award and your association with the event.
Yeah, so this award is like a symbolic thing, as I said, like in terms of sustainability and environment. And we feel like this is a very important thing, not just for Himalaya, across the country. And great that IIT Mandi has started this category clearly. So this is going to kind of get to the next level in terms of promoting some kind of entrepreneur that they see this as an opportunity to get recognition and also giving them a confidence to go to the next level. So it's a great thing. I will say we are honored to have be part of this whole event and also this category coming in together.
Anuj, you made a mention as to working in these hill regions, and especially with the people from the hills, you need to build trust. So when it comes to building solutions, do we need to have people coming from the region, or because assuming that they know better what the region requires or what are the challenges there, or it could be anybody from anywhere?
So like there are two types of approaches, if I put it like this. One is we always say that, hey, look, I know very much good because I'm in Bombay, Delhi, or maybe in US or Europe, I'm sitting, and I will come and give you all the kinds of learnings. But I strongly feel that local people know the best. So what we need is we need to nurture them to become leaders. Now, that is a very, very important thing. If we don't give the confidence and also the ecosystem support to the local people, then we are again doing the same thing of exploitative thing that people from plains are going and making big enterprises there and kind of making their supremacy because they may have advantage of capital, they may have advantage of education, superior education, or maybe connect and other things. So it's very important that we support somebody locally from the Himalayan region. So in this, like I can also give a mention as we are talking, we are the very few people we are like as an organization, we are supporting entire Himalayan region. We are supporting people in Kashmir, one of the first people to support people in Kashmir, and they've got some investments there. The same way we are supporting Ladakh. We are talking about IIT Mandi, it means Himachal, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, Nagaland, Manipur, and other places as well. And also, if I go beyond, like Nepal and Bhutan as well.
How grave is the situation? When you talk about the impact of environment on the foothills and the hills itself.
So if you see like the way our urban planning have been done, and also the way the development came in, it came with a very high cost. The forests were cleared. Also, the whole mountains were cleared because of some kind of development. But at the same time, we see this as a tourist destination. Most of us go in that whole thing. But if I say, is it a destination for entrepreneurship? Very few people will even imagine that it could be entrepreneurship destination. And if we can co-create that kind of a thing where we find the local sensibilities and our local solutions getting nurtured to the next level, it will also conserve lots of livelihoods coming in from there. And also, it is very important for us if we have to save Himalayas, if I put like this. And our entrepreneurship is one of the solutions for sure.
My Startup TV is a channel for startups and enablers like you. What are your thoughts about our channel, the work we're doing?
The kind of thing you're doing is a awesome thing, because I think media has a very important role and responsibility, and having some kind of a focused, dedicated channel like yours is a very big, I will say, asset for the country as a whole. So thanks for being part of this whole ecosystem, and we look forward getting inspiration as well from your side. Yeah.
Thank you, Anuj. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to hosting you on some of our other shows.